Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review, and today's review is going to be on Age of the Prime's Vortex. Now, I kind of previewed this figure in my Fall of Cybertron unboxing video, because I got those two figures at the same time. So, with the Cyberwall figures, I feel a standard unboxing and like first impressions video is enough for them, but of course, for generation stuff like this, I feel better doing a full-on review on them. So, let's actually review this guy. So, starting off with the box, of course, we've got the standard Age of the Prime's packaging. So, of course, we've got Vortex right here in both modes. Combaticon Vortex, because, yeah, first Combaticon in Age of the Primes. 1 of 5 of Bruticus. 19 steps to transform him. And, of course, this side we got Bruticus. And, of course, as of right now, we have seen Blastoff and Brolby shown off. We do have a render of Onslaught, but we haven't seen Swindle yet. Kind of ironic, because like, he was the first one to be, I guess, listed when this was just called Prime. So, yeah. And, of course, this side, we got some of the Primes. We got Leech Maximo here, the Fallen, and Star Convoy, which I do really want to get, although I think Cyberwall has sort of taken over my budget as of right now, so maybe next month, I don't know. But anyway, the back, we got him in both modes. This whole wheel of Primes. Again, 1 of 5 of Bruticus. And yeah, it's pretty much it for the box. And while looking at the actual figure, well, we've got our next combiner team. So we've got the Combaticons coming next. So we've got our first member here, Vortex. Kind of a random member to include in amongst all the aerial bots coming out right now. But, I mean, sure, why not? Pretty much the only Combaticons are going to be coming out this year, but sure. But anyway, looking at the details here, we can see that this guy is pretty much fully based on how he appeared in the cartoon. So we've got the blue stripe here going along the front, which the toy didn't have. This is full-on cartoon detail. It's like with Blastoff, how he has, like, Blastoff's got that huge, like, bit of purple on him, which the toy didn't have. And the Age of the Primes one also has that. But yeah, got that nice blue stripe. Of course, we've got the doors here for the helicopter. The cockpit right here, just with black paints. The actual rotors here, which do spin really nicely. So, there we go. So it does spin really well. And this is a separate piece, so if you want, this can come off. So I guess this can be a weapon in robot mode if you want. And it can also fold up. So if you want Vortex to be a 2-rotor helicopter, like Combiner Wars, then there you go. But I don't know, that was wrong to me. He should have 4 rotors. But there you go, that is an option. The tail rotors, so we've got the small tail rotor here, and the whole back bit here. Got some ports here. So if we're going to plug in some weapons, there you go. But, like, there are some dedicated weapon ports right here for his weapons. Got some molded and landing gears, and there's one right into his skull, just like with Slingshot. And I'm fairly certain Blastoff's also going to have one. But yeah, the underneath, you can pretty much just see how he's going to transform. Like, that's the chest right there. The arms just fold up. So, yeah. And of course, we just bring in the weapons. So we get 3 guns for him. One of them mounts in the front, 2 of them go on the side. And you can see that there are dedicated, I guess, ports here, which go into here. So they can actually go on the side here of the helicopter. That's pretty cool. Same with here. There's a little bit here that just plugs into. And you can actually go on either side, although, if I remember correctly, yeah, the box has it going on the right side. So just plugging this in. There we go. So now we have them all armed up. And for blast effects, yep, one can go on the front gun right here. And for the little side guns, this is probably going to be hard, but yep, they can go on the little side guns. Granted, these are going to get in the way, but you can plug in blast effects here. So there you go. So that's pretty much it for the helicopter mode. So let's bring in the previous Vortex, or in my case, a picture. So here we have Combiner Wars Vortex. And yeah, I think Age of the Primes is a massive improvement, because, well, let's be honest, the Combiner Wars one only exists because there was a redeco of another figure. We will get to that soon, because I do think that this guy is going to be redecoed in the future. But yeah, the Combiner Wars one is not really too accurate. Like, it only has 2 rotors compared to the 4 of this one. Yeah. Combiner Wars was back when figures were more stylized. So, yeah. But this is full-on cartoon accurate. Probably a few discrepancies, but still, this is a lot more accurate. Honestly, I prefer this one way more. Although, it seems that Bruticus is going to use the whole frame combiner thing. Why do I say that? Well, let's bring in a bit of Silverbolt's whole battle station slash jet, like super jet thing. So what I'm going to need is, aside from this, because of course this forms from Superion's arms, and why am I bringing out a bit of Superion? Well, hilariously, Vortex can attach onto Superion. So we just need to try and line this up. I'm probably have to fold this up. This is actually the first time I've done this, believe it or not. So I just have to line things up. Yeah, it's actually like this. So I have to line everything up. So these little ports will go into here. Come on. If anything, I'll just do this off camera. But we can see that that does actually plug in. So what I can do is, if this will actually let me, let's try and get the rows out of the way for this. And it's not happening because I'm on camera. Let's just take the guns off for this. So what I can do is actually split him in half. And now Vortex can be a part of Superion for whatever bloody reason. Why? I have no idea. Like, maybe these will be retooled and be used as part of the Bruticus frame. I have no idea, but this is hilarious. Plus, it gives us a good, like, view of what Vortex is going to look like as an arm for Bruticus. even though it's a superior arm, but hey, why not? Maybe it's an AU where Vortex became an Autobot, or Slingshot dies, the Combaticons all die, and Vortex just has to team up with this. I don't know, I'm just thinking out my ass here. Although, one possible reason is Alpha Bravo. Because, of course, in Combiner Wars, Vortex was a redeco of Alpha Bravo, who was an aerial bot. So, maybe this is foreshadowing a potential Agent Prime's Alpha Bravo, or Gen Select's Alpha Bravo. Maybe. I mean, that would be cool. It would be cool to get, like, the Combiner Wars extra guys back. Like, you know, maybe maybe try and retool a potential, like, swindle into Rook or something, or off-road from, I don't know, Ironhide or something. But yeah, this pretty much gives us an insight into what Vortex is going to be as an arm. So, standard splits in half, so the elbow can work and all that. So, yeah. And let's just try and get this off. And now this is going to be really secure on, I'm pretty sure. And in fact, yes, it actually is. Oh, there we go. So, just repairing him. There we go. Let's actually get this guy transformed. So, the transformation on this guy is honestly kind of fun. Especially with how the arms work. But to start off, I'm just going to open up the front here. In fact, I'm doing this back to front. Just meant to transform the arms first, so fold up the landing gear and then transform the arms. So with this bit, we just fold this one way, split the tail section. All this is just going to move down, and these are going to form his arms, kind of like the G1 toy, compared to them just being on the side of the helicopter like in Combiner Wars. Oh, and this folds up. There we go. These sections, I don't know what they're called. I don't know helicopters, but they just move down. This whole section with the rotor rotates 90 degrees. Now we can open up the legs, because this will let us extend the legs out. Then we can close all this back up. Come on. There we go. Wild snap there. In fact, there's a little face cover here that folds in. Then we can just rotate all this back up. The front just opens up to form its feet. Pretty sure it's meant to rotate a specific way. Yes, it's meant to rotate like this, with just a little bit facing towards the ass, like so. The instructions do tell you to take off the rotors, but you don't have to do that. So, split the legs, rotate the head, and finally, just try and hinge just rotate the arms out of the weird tail rotor thing. Come on. There we go. So you got access to the ports here on the sides of the arms. And here we have Vortex and Robot Mode. And yeah, typical Legacy Age of the Primes combined limb transformation. Especially like with the arm guys, because you can tell, like, he has to split in half. Like, if you want, you could get your fingernail in there if it's long enough. Mine's not. We can get your fingernail in there, push the button, and then split him in half. Unfortunately, I don't have a tool handy on me right now, so I can't do that, but you get what I mean. If you wanted to, you could get, like, slingshot or drag strip and have them all swap trousers with each other, which is funny. Oh, that's one fun gimmick with these guys. But anyway, looking at Vortex here. Of course, this is how he's meant to look with the rotor in the back. Although, the arm kibble does kind of get in the way here, unfortunately, but oh well. This is how he's meant to look with the kibble in the back. Although, there is another option that you can do with this, which we'll get to soon. But yeah, typical Vortex. Of course, we've got the whole front of the helicopter as the legs. The head looks like a typical Decepticon grunt. It's got both a visor and a mouth plate, like most of the Combaticons, apart from Swindle. So yeah, not really much to say here, although I do like the Decepticon symbol on the left shoulder here. So yeah. Now, of course, if you want, you can actually take this off. I guess squeeze this up. And just maybe have him hold it. So, this could become a melee weapon if you want. So, that's an option. Although he's not letting go now, there we go. You have it on the side of the arm, plug it onto here. But I'm just going to leave it on the back all opened up, because that's how it's meant to be. I'm pretty sure Vortex never used his rotors a la Energon bulkheads in the show. Anyway, giving him his actual guns here. Well, we can just plug these ones onto the sides of his arms. So just plug this in. There we go. And then the actual gun can just plug into one of his hands. So, yeah. And of course, as stated earlier, we can plug in some blast effects. Funny how these are still being used after all these years. At least I'm pretty sure you can plug in blast effects. Okay, you can kind of, but it's kind of a loose fit. Seems you can more just plug in blast effects into this gun. But still, it's still kind of compatible. So yeah, weird how these are still being supported after, what, 7, 8 years? And of course, there's ports in the feed if you want to plug in blast effects or even weaponizers. Or, hell, they're bringing out the Junkions next year, so you can do that. So, what else? Well, we can put him next to Combiner Wars Vortex again. And, wow. That's quite the difference. I mean, colors are way different. There's a lot more yellow on the Combiner Wars one that this guy doesn't have. Faces are different colors. Like, the Combiner Wars one doesn't really have the blue, like, shorts that this guy has. And hell, the tail fins are at different places as well, because this guy has it on one of the forearms, the Combiner Wars one has it on the back, and the rotors are also in different places, because on the Combiner Wars one, it's neatly folded up, because, you know, Alpha Bravo. Whereas with here, just like how it was back in G1. So again, I prefer this guy. I feel the Combiner Wars mold works better for Alpha Bravo, but again, wouldn't mind an Alpha Bravo redeco of this guy. So, yeah. And finally, let's talk about the articulation. So, pretty standard here. So, head, pretty much on a ball joint, so kind of look around, can look up and down. It's got a landing gear through it. Arms can move. It's got a bit of kibble here. Which, honestly, I don't really like the kibble, but I'll talk about that in complaints. But the arms can move. Bicep rotation. 90 degrees of elbows, which are sort of softly ratcheted. Waist can rotate. He can kick forward. He can kick back. Knees about that far. Okay, he can T-pose. You can do the splits. Pretty good ankle pivot. Swivel there at the thigh. Yep, knees about there. And the feet can open and close. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Complaints, I think my main one has got to be the arm kibble here. Because, you know, that has to conceal the arm for the vehicle mode. Honestly, I don't know how they could have fixed it. Maybe have it fold up a bit more, but honestly, it's just kind of annoying. Like, it's annoying to try and get out, and it's annoying... It's annoying to try and, like, handle, plus... Well, it's not doing it right now, but... It kind of collides... Like, this side collides with the rotors here, so I want to try and spin him. So, yeah, it's kind of annoying. But that's honestly my biggest complaint, because honestly, this guy's pretty cool. Because honestly, I don't really think Vortex is a favorite of most people when it comes to Combaticons. It's normally, oh, Swindle! And yeah, I do like Swindle, but I also really like Brawl. But yeah, I don't think Vortex is a favorite for most people when it comes to the Combaticons. But to have him be the first one is honestly quite unique. Plus, it's getting everyone hyped for Bruticus. Me especially. Well, not... But honestly, I'm just seeing some repaint potential here, you know. Alpha Bravo, Rotor, maybe the Energon guys, although that one I don't really see happening. So, mainly Alpha Bravo and Rotor. Maybe also G2 Vortex. So, yeah, I can see some repaints coming in the form of G2 Vortex, Rotor, and Alpha Bravo. Maybe also Blades, but that one might be a bit of a stretch. I can see Blades being his own mold. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say. So, do I recommend... Dude, it's a combiner component. I absolutely recommend him. If you need, like, if you're trying to complete Bruticus, you are going to need this guy. So, I absolutely recommend him for that. And even if you're just wanting this guy by himself, he's honestly quite fun. I mean, it's a deluxe helicopter mold. So, yeah. I think they did a pretty good job with this guy. So, yeah. So, even if you just want to get this guy by himself, I absolutely recommend him. Even with the annoying arm kibble, but hey, that can be ignored. Especially if you're just buying him to display him. But yeah, this has been my review on Age of the Prime's Vortex. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.